Hey YouTube. Today I am playing Miss Pac-Man on Google Maps. Now for the past few years, every April Fool's Day, Google has made it so you can play Pac-Man on the Maps app. So I'm picked four locations I know pretty well, and I'm playing Pac-Man on them. Now, same concept as in the regular game. Mazes take a little bit of getting used to because sometimes the controls don't always line up, and then the wraparounds don't always work the way you would think they would, but it's still pretty fun and interesting. This first map is the University of Oklahoma in Norman, Boyd Street, and I think that's Parrington Oval. So, anyway, I got Miss Pac-Man running around the OU campus trying to avoid getting eaten by the ghosts. In order to play this game, you have to pick an area that has plenty of streets, so unfortunately folks in Thurber, Texas are not going to be able to see their hometown represented in Pac-Man, probably. Thurber's a little town in Texas that has like about 70 people living in it total. So, anyway, that's the OU campus. And don't expect great gameplay on this because the controls take a little bit of getting used to. I'm just playing this for fun. So that'd be an interesting thing to do a game video on, though. Now this next map is in Baltimore. It's a neighborhood called Jonestown, just east of the harbor. As you can see here, it's confusing Baltimore streets, kind of like driving in real life in Baltimore. The streets don't follow neat north and south grids. So, anyway, the maze is a little different, I think, because of the complexity of maze. It keeps you from getting in so much trouble with the ghosts, but this is about the most convoluted streets I could find. Anyway, for streets that are more than one lane wide, up near the top, those are counted as two separate rows. You can't just go up and down through them, unfortunately. It's just it's just like if they had a visible wall between them. So sometimes it's kind of hard to get Pac-Man to go down the right path. And then you can kind of see a bit more about how the wraparounds work on maps that have curved streets like this. I think I actually didn't do too badly on this maze. Yeah, sometimes it takes a couple of passes to get those double rows of dots. Now, this next maze is Times Square in New York. This one would probably be alright, except that it's not, New York streets are not oriented along the compass points. So, they're pretty straight for the most part, but you can see it, they're not oriented along north, south, east, west planes. So you still got to deal with the tilted aspect of the map. So the way that one street curves subtly upward, when it wraps around, it puts you in another part of the map, and you have to be kind of careful about that, because if a ghost goes through at the same time, then you can end up getting a surprise attack. And finally, for something really complex, this is the stack in Phoenix. This is basically where I-10, Arizona State Route 51, and Loop 202 all come together. If you think this is complicated in this game, you ought to try driving it. But as you can see, this is pretty complicated maze here. It's just thought this was about one of the messiest mazes I could think of. I also thought about trying to do this with the 405 in Los Angeles, but I live in Arizona, so I drive through this intersection pretty much every working day. So as you can see, I'm not doing too good a job of handling it as Pac-Man. Of course, the ghosts have all their same movement patterns that they do in the regular game. Blanky chases, Pinky traps, and Inky, turns around on a dime all of a sudden. And Sue, the orange, which is what the orange ghost is called, Miss Pac-Man, just kind of goes after you at random. So. So in a nutshell, that's Pac-Man Google Maps. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I just thought it'd be something a little different. Thanks as always for watching.